windows with a foam cover, so I don't know if that. I'm like, oh my god, if that's a bit loud, just tell me. Like, if it's on all the way, and you can tap on it. So today I wanted to discuss. This is gonna be like definitely a rambling video. Like, it's not gonna be like very trigger heavy. I don't know if you know. This one girl, she like does deep dives on like internet drama. Ooh, was that loud? And she puts it in ASMR like she did P. Diddy. I literally watched 3 hours of her just talking in a whisper tone about the whole P. Diddy case. Like, literally, I could like listen to her talk for like ever. Do you want some? Perfecto. And this way your lips are not chapped. Alright. Today, sorry. That's stupid little Gmail notification. My bad. Today I wanted to talk about the politics of reading, which I know you're already thinking, wow, I cannot wait. Sounds like such a fun conversation, and it is. It truly is. It truly is. It's truly such a fun conversation. Like, some people are like, what do you mean politics, and reading? And those people would unfortunately be misinformed about the connection between politics and reading. So basically, I saw a woman on the internet. She said, why can't books be not political? And I'm going to give you a prime example of a way in which books can be in a very, very political in a very obvious way, and a bit more political in a not so obvious way, and how fictional books can also be political in a more obvious, and it's going to be the same example for the not so obvious way, just because if I get up it's going to cause a ruckus. Oh, and I might do some tape triggers. I was like experimenting a little bit with the mic, and tape triggers I thought sounded pretty good as long as I turned the gain down. Again, I apologize in advance if you can hear my breathing. I'm trying my best to work on it. Okay. Yeah, it's really, I don't know how other ASMRs do it. I think I'm gonna have to like watch a YouTube video on how to like breathe better. But basically, my first example. Mi primera ejemplar es el libro The Prince de Machiavelli. Now, I don't know those of you who know this book and those of you who don't. Obviously, either way is fine, because like it's not a book that like you need to know necessarily. Like, I think it's important, but I also am like a huge nerd, so I think most things are important that really aren't. So this book basically is actually I think it was the first book to explore the concept of the means justify the ends. Now you may be saying, well, the means justify the end, like, wow, is that political? Or you might not be, because you know how it's political, but either way, that's fine. he got banished. And then he was like, well, maybe if I agree with them, they'll let me back. So a lot of people believe that Machiavelli actually didn't believe a single thing that he wrote. Moving this, sorry, like something, my chapstick keeps falling. My chapstick keeps falling. So like, I really hate that. And he basically, the whole reason he wrote this was to escape banishment. Now this book ended up, I mean, maybe he intended it, maybe not. Again, we don't even know if he really believed anything that he wrote, but this book, changed the way people viewed, especially rulers viewed, like ruling. Like, it, again, ends justify the means. It kind of like not excused cruel rulers, but was like, you can be cruel for the sake of justice. For the sake of justice, not justice in like the traditional sense in which we know, which is a like following like a set of like laws. But like justice as in like for the good of the kingdom. And it shaped the way people and kings and people in higher power viewed their power, as well as people in lower statuses viewed the people in power. So again, this is an example of a work of, I guess it's nonfiction, that yeah. This is also annotated, which is really cool because I got it from Savers. But anyway, basically how a book can be political in a more like right in your face. Like, this is a political book. Like, this is about politics. And next, I'm gonna show you a fiction book that is more in your face about politics. That is fiction. And here we have Uncle Tom's Cabin. Uncle Tom's Cabin. This book by Harriet Beecher Stowe, describing the life of a slave. I actually will read. Okay, so it doesn't have a back. That like actually sucks. I didn't know that when I got this. I didn't know that I got this in middle school because I really thought I was gonna be reading all that in middle school. I did not read it until like, I want to say last year, so like 11th grade, and I got it in like 5th and 6th grade, or 5th or 6th grade. I don't know who I thought I was. I think I read the first chapter, and I remember being like, what are they saying? Like, what is this even about? But I'll tell you what it is about. It's basically the following of characters: Tom, Topsy, Little Eva, Eliza, and Simon Legree. And it's describing the life of a slave from a white woman's perspective. I would like you, if you so choose to read this book, to view the book through that lens. This obviously was not, and maybe not the most accurate descriptor. I'm really not an expert, so I can't really say how good or bad the representation of slavery was here. I remember it being like pretty brutal, at least in my eyes. But basically, this book changed people's opinion on slavery and in general, like as a whole. chill with it. Like, they were like, well, well, it doesn't affect me. It doesn't affect me. It doesn't affect me. So, like, why should I care about it? And then this book comes around. And they develop empathy also. No, I'm joking, they don't develop empathy also. But it kind of like, it humanized slaves in a way that hadn't been done before. And instead of seeing black people as slaves, white people began to view black people as people. Or obviously this did not happen fully. This did not happen in a night, and this did not happen purely because of this book, but the I shouldn't say cultural word, but the awareness of and the humanization of these characters, like turning the lives of slaves into like a story that wasn't like, haha, funny. Like, look at what we do to people. Look at what we do to people below us. So again, like an example of a book that is very political. And you might be thinking, well, okay, actually you probably won't be thinking how is that political. But let's say you are, and you're like, well, that has to do with slavery and the rights of people, which should not be political. Yeah, well, it kind of sucks, but it is political. Do I think it should be political? No, but the rights of people right now are certainly politicized. So basically, again, an example of a fiction book that is more outwardly like, you're like, if you're like not looking to read a quote unquote political book, those are not the books you're gonna like grab. Like, you're not gonna be like, I want something easy, I'm gonna read Harriet Beecher Stowe. Like, no one is doing that. I'm not like not saying the truth. Next one is The Canterbury Tales, by Geoffrey Chaucer. Very, very funny name. I love the name. That's different, like, has a very different sound. Okay. So, this is what it says in the back. It's basically a bunch of stories of people from all ranks of society telling through. So this is like basically a collection of short stories and like little like tales of like just the average person. And like, again, this is political in the sense that like it brought, again, I'm not the expert on this, I'm a bit rusty on how this exactly is political, but from my recollection, from my recollection, it is political again in the way that it brought awareness, cultural, like social awareness to like the people of like, again, different classes, different societies. Again, but you might be, these are all old books. Of course they're gonna be political. These are all old books. I don't know why you would think that, but let's say you did. So I have it here. I do actually. So I actually haven't. I'm sorry, by the way, if you hear that creaking again. I have like a stand-in chair. I'm gonna have a real chair hopefully by tomorrow or next week. I'm going to explain to you how this book is political. Now, I have not read the synopsis of this book in a good 6 months, and I have yet to read this book because, to be frank, I don't know why. I think I got it, like, honestly, because I was laughing at it, because I was like, who gave this away? This is hilarious. Bastard by Christina Lauren. And I feel like you can tell by the cover what this might be. First time in print. That's actually really, like, props to Christina Lauren. Like, I love books like these. Well, I wouldn't say that. I love a good junk read. Junk food read. Sorry, I'm like trying to add triggers and like not just talk, but like alright. An ambitious intern, a perfectionist executive, and a whole lot of name calling. My bread and butter is rifles to lovers, so you know I'm about to be on that. Or not even rivals to lovers, honestly, they annoy each other and then they don't. That's my bread and butter. As a whip smart, hardworking, and on her way to an MBA, Chloe Mills masters to an MBA. I'm pretty sure that's a master's bachelor in arts. No, that can't be right. A master's and a bachelor's in arts potentially. I don't know what an MBA is. Again, I'm not the most educated person ever. Chloe Mills has only one problem. Her boss, Ben Ryan. He's exacting, blunt, inconsiderate, and completely irresistible. A beautiful bastard. Now, how is this political? Well, first off, we have women in education. A woman gaining an education, which was not something a lot of women did or socially felt comfortable doing until, I want to say, based on anecdotes that I've heard from people who lived throughout this time. Not until like the 1970s, 1980s. So if we think about the grand scheme of when civilization began, which I don't know the exact year, but it was a fucking long time. Let's just say first. Let's say let's say when the Revolutionary War, 1776, when it started. That's a good, like, 200 years. That's a good 200 years of history. Up until 150 of those, women were not able to be comfortable getting a college degree, and women were not even allowed to go to college or get an education until like 100 to 150 years ago. And so I shouldn't say women, white women, black women, however, were barred again from learning until late 1800s, and white women were barred from learning until late 1700s. So again, like, you see, like, again, like, rights becoming political, and like you can see that in this book. And to take this guy as a CEO, I think, I don't know, man, he has a business. It doesn't really say CEO, but I don't know if they use that type of terms in these books. Well, they do sometimes. A CEO, that's political. The practices of CEOs either being like the potentially good, quote unquote, good or bad practices the CEO does in this book will be political. I don't know about you, but I definitely have read a book where if the CEO is like, I'm one of like the good ones. I don't know if this is just me, but like I've definitely read a book where it's like, I don't take advantage of people, I pay people good. That is making a political statement. And whether or not this book says something like that, that is a political statement. Because it has to do with the political sphere and the social sphere with which we operate in today. I'm not sure if that was a whole lot of nothing. I thought it was a says something. But like every book you read, trust me, no matter how shitty, as a gay person in it, that shit's political because of the rights that were, let's go again, 200 years, less than 10 years ago. So that's what 2%, about 10, 15 years ago, right to marry. 2% of that 200 years. They had rights. And, like, if you think about it, like, every book you read has a political message or has any type of message. Let's take Apprentice to the Villain, for example. There is clearly a message right there. Again, it's honestly giving actually Machiavellian almost. Like, ends justify the means. He is the villain is a villain because that's what he needs to do. That in itself is pretty political. As we just explained, Machiavelli, that whole concept is very political because it represents how people should run, like, states, countries, or governments. But yeah, so genuinely, every book you read, no matter how shitty, no matter how brain rot it is, no matter how, sports suit gets this, sports suit gets that, you have to think what social construct is that representing? You don't have to, but think, if you really are thinking, this isn't political, what social construct does this book support or deny? And how does that connect to politics and the way politics work today? Think about that. Next time you have a romance where it's a nuclear family and sports, everything's good, very white suburban family. Think about how the glamorization of that may be used in the 50s and even now in politics to promote a certain message. Think about things. That's basically the crux of it. Turn your brain off when you want. You don't constantly have to be running, but reading is political. The act of reading has always been political. Did I say education earlier? I meant the right for white women and black women respectively to be able to read. My bad, y'all. Education for both did not come until much later. Not much later, but I want to say a couple decades later. Again, some of my information is a bit fuzzy, as you can tell from me forgetting. A very big change in words. But just in general, think with critical thought. Don't ever let yourself. I'm not saying never relax and always be thinking, but also when you're this is it. Think no, this isn't it. There's something more. Think about the historical context of whatever is being written. Really think about Adiós, 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 mi amigos, mi amigos. Me gusta mucho. Me gusta. Me gusta mucho tú. Bueno, bueno, bueno,